Hi, and welcome to Anne-Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne-Marie, and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy, or just like to follow along, please like, subscribe, and share. Now, welcome to my May 5th, hashtag Friday Sews, what's going on around the workshop video. This forum was created by Jenny Westner and is hosted by Marie de Jesus over on Facebook. It is a creative group. If you'd like to join, head on over there. And they usually have a forum topic. Now, there's not a forum topic posted yet, but I thought that I might think about my birthday's this month, and I'll be 60. And I was trying to think, how long have I been sewing and what I've gotten from it? All right. I think I've been sewing since I've been 5. My mom gave me a quarter when it was time to get my ears pierced. She gave me a quarter for each ear, and I'll remember that. And we were inside, it was in Canada, and we were inside a shop that had all sorts of things, jewelry, all sorts of little knickknacks. I'm trying to remember it from my perspective of probably being 3 foot something. And there was for 50 cents, there was a sewing kit inside of a book. Does that not portend my future? Anyway, I remember the first thing I did was I was looking around for something to sew, because one of my toys, I could remember my 5 toys: Green Truck, Jack in the Box, pretend piano, little tiny piano, and it was a metal sewing machine that was an actual functioning sewing machine, but my mom had removed the needle. Smart lady. And so I was looking around the house for something to sew. So I gnawed off the button on my bed jacket. You remember those dressing gowns? They just went below the blanket. I guess up in Canada it was cold. And then I sewed it back on with all the different threads that came in the kit. And then I was looking around for other stuff. But my mother had removed most of the scissors from the house because I had tried to cut snowflake patterns in her brand new drapes. And I was a creative that was also a destructor. So I had to be watched with scissors and needles and thread. But I have to admit, it has been a wonderful ride. I have aunts who sew. My mother, wildly creative, knit, sew without patterns, crochet, tat, embroider in a 3D manner. And they were all taught by nuns. It was part of their school education to be able to do all those things. So I did not hit the ability to educate, formal education in crafts until 6th grade. And kudos to those middle school home ec classes that taught us how to sew. And then being New York, of course, afterwards we had a fashion show. And so then I was solidified. I started buying patterns with my allowance, destroying fabric, just buying the wrong fabric, destroying it. I had a whole table of these sort of things in my bedroom as a teenager. And my mom, she would try and rescue them from me and take them to work and have someone who was a accomplished seamstress sew them there. But that wasn't the point. It did give me such a love of sewing. And I think I'll stop at that. And then maybe if I don't see a forum topic, I'll talk about my evolution from teenage sewing to young woman sewing, and then how we ended up with all of this going on. Okay, so this week around the workshop, last Friday, I kind of, when I met with my Friday night sew group, I was cutting out a few things and having a wonderful time talking to all of my friends on that forum. And I was working on first couple of days on this pattern. Let me get it. Working on McCall 7969, and I was using a material that one of my subscribers had said that she had bought it also from Fabric Mart, and she had had a little problem sewing it. I didn't have any problems sewing it, but I didn't really care for how it came out. It just didn't fit on me right. Like, it fit, but sometimes I have a little problems with McCall's patterns because I'm kind of like a tube because I'm an apple. So I think if I was more flat, like from the front to the back, that this would set differently. I do love the detail, the bias lavender satin. It didn't go. You know, every once in a while, you sewers know, every once in a while we'll have a flop, and this was a flop. I think it might not be a flop for someone else. Now, I do think it needs a little white, fluttery kind of A-line slip underneath it in like a lavender or something, because it's very sheer. And I do have a little regret. I think this would have been a lovely blouse because it's so fluttery and nice. And I'm trying to think, it really did have a huge skirt. I might be able to salvage a blouse from because I made it maxi length. So it might be recycled. So, you know, as a sewer, never give up hope. I have to admit, this week I spent a lot of time. Matter of fact, I think I spent 2 days making buttonholes and sewing on buttons. Now, this is my fault because I don't know what happened last month. I ended up with 21 garments, 21. And I don't feel like I spent any more time, but maybe I got a little bit more time because my dad was resting a lot more. He wasn't feeling particularly good last week, and I think I had more time. I didn't have any major projects out of the house and no major projects in the house, as a matter of fact, and I think I had more time. And so I watched a lot more television, and so I think I may have sewed a bit more because I think I was completing like it was taking 1.5 days to finish a garment. And so I'm gonna have to break my makes video up. It's way too long. It's like 21. So I made buttonholes and sewed buttons on for maybe 2 days. And it was lovely to finish them and put them on my rack. But that's kind of another thing that happened last week. Now, the last thing I worked on, and it is in process, is my entry into the Sew Cafe Create. I'm not exactly sure what the hashtag is. Let me get this wrong. It's called Color Me Cafe. And it is, I think in June is the deadline. But because I love, I've made so many quilts from Cafe that I was so excited. It requires that you have at least 3 of his fabrics in your creation. So I have been dying to use my my wedge ruler. It's a quilting tool, and I have been waiting to use it again. I put up a few of my jackets that I have used from when I used to do a lot of quilted jackets. Not so much here in Jamaica, but I'm still inspired by it. So I'll show you what I'm doing on that project. I'm not exactly sure how many times I can make this pattern. This is Vogue's 9253. Hold on, it's also known as something else. Hold on. It is also Vogue 1735. It is one of my all-time favorite patterns. It works on my shape. Look at the little rectangle right there. And I have made it as a full-on dress 3 times. I've made it as a jumpsuit 2 times. I have made it as a robe 2 times. And what's lovely about this simple lines and majestic sweep of this pattern is that it is so open to interpretation, and the pieces can support embellishment. I think I'll insert a little thing over here of when I made it in the white robe with the scalloped laser cut edging, because I didn't know what I was going to do with that material, and it came out so very nice. It is a showstopper as a robe. All right, so the wedge ruler creates different variations of a pinwheel. So I wanted to create pinwheels for the front two pieces, and then a giant pinwheel. Sorry about if this squeaks. Whoops, 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 whoops. I don't know if I'm catching all of it. A giant pinwheel on the back. And then, so it's a work in progress right now. I'm not in any hurry. It's not due until June, but I just wanted to, I was just excited to work on it, you know, when you get that fire. So I'm going to continue to work on that. I have other things to work on, but that's the last thing about in the workshop that I'm actually constructing. One of the great things about YouTube is being able to dive into other designers and see their expertise and what they like to do. So lately I have been watching a lot of The Perfect Jacket. I will include their YouTube channels below. I have been really getting into my my friend Donna at Donna's Things. She does vintage. She always has a positive spiritual message that goes along with it. I find that very attractive. And I also love, hold on, let me get her name right, Karen Euter. I knew Karen, I just had to make sure I got the last name right. And she's a maestro at the tailored jacket and also other things. But these are just interesting channels that I love to put on when I'm sewing, to see their process and to see how they end up with such excellent results and what their inspiration is. And I feel like we should promote one another. So each week, if I find somebody new, I'll make sure I include it in the Friday set. Do you have a haul for you? I found another fabric store in Mandeville. Now, it was always there. I remember going to this fabric store as a young woman, but I just didn't think it was there anymore. But it has moved over one store. It is on the second floor of the Juicy Patty store in the center of downtown Mandeville. Oh no. Didn't stop me from going to Ping's though. Didn't stop me. I think my video might be getting long. I have some hauls. I'm gonna see how much time I've taken so far, but I have some hauls to show you. I also got some patterns in from the shipping company, and I've got some trim and stuff to show you. So let me check how much time this is, and if it's too long, I'll just add a little quick little haul video that can come out tomorrow. Yeah, I added up. It's quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and make that haul a separate video. But I hope that you had a wonderful week. My brother is here. He flew in last night from Japan. So I'm hoping to do a lot of talking, eating, laughing, and catching up and enjoy the time he's here. All right, you take care. We will see you next Friday on this forum. And I think one of my makes videos will come out next week, Wednesday. And hope to see you on the Friday night. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.